is because I buy things, right?
You monster.
So it's like, fine, I'll go play Heroes of the Storm, where I'm more appreciated. Not really, not at all. I only been playing like Guild Wars 2 because it's free. I keep thinking they're IMing me, and it's really this other group that I'm in, and they're like, oh, no, hex, 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 cards, cards. So then we have like higher up, we have male and female. But they start being a little more characterized, less just like energy beasts. We have another higher up.
So what triggers this evolution?
These, they don't evolve. They're just different classes of the same race. Of Void.
Thank you.
And then
is there a name for the each class, or is it just?
Oh well, this was I just have placeholders, I guess you could say. These I had as anomaly, which are just the first. And then there was chaotic class, which was the first of the ones that actually look like things, or like look like they have intelligence, or sentient, I guess you could say. Then there's Oblivion and Infinity. Which is this guy here?
Okay.
So the Pulsar are basically battling these. For as far as they know, they have a white orb that's covered in runes that basically will every so often spawn another Pulsar. And the Pulsar don't really know where they're coming from or how they're created, and I haven't even written it really, other than that they have a drive to protect, and basically they're like the good guys of the universe, and they have a drive to actually uphold those values and to fight against anything that's the opposite. Likewise, there's a dark orb, which it does the exact opposite, and it makes these void, and they fight the Pulsar. At one point in time.
Sorry. No, I was sorry.
What?
I was going through a text. That's it. I had to read a text. I thought it was my boss. It was just my friend.
A text.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good now. Go ahead.
So they ultimately find good what?
Huh?
What? Huh?
What? You all right?
You're saying I'm good? What? Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, like I'm fine. I'm like, please continue.
Am I coming through?
Yes, it's just fun.
Okay, so.
Can you hear me? Okay, go ahead.
The Pulsar basically invade. They ultimately find where the Dark Orb is, and they're fighting into the home world of the dark side of the Force. They ultimately seal the
get
to the Dark Orb and seal it away.
Is this like before?
So now, this is the very beginning. This is before anything happens.
Like timeline-wise, is this? Okay. Thank you.
So by the time the story is actually happening, this is already all done. This is completed.
Okay.
So they seal away this dark orb, and Rift is one of the Pulsar that are put in place to guard it while it's in its whatever sealed temple, whatever you want to call it, building, while they start like discovering how the void are and where their realm is, and it has all these gates that are around, and they start experimenting with these gates and find out that they go to different universes. Just trying to make this as condensed as possible. Rift basically gets corrupted at one point in time, unseals the orb, goes power hungry, and starts killing off all of his brethren. And he ultimately seals them off in their own dimension. So he seals that gate completely, and they're stuck over on the other side of it. But some of them were in the other dimensions as well, and what they did to keep Rift out is they sealed the other ones from the other side. And what those are, I have them here. It's actually on the most recent page of the comic, is what one of them are. Let's see. For Affinity. I think, no, actually, it's not yet posted here, but it's posted on Trello. I'm going to pull this over here. So this is what I refer to them as forges, because that's what the humans refer to them as. They more or less contain a singularity, which it's, for all extensive purposes, it's really a gateway to the void realm, but it pretty much will suck in anything that is near it when it opens, and that's just because stuff has to go in it for stuff to come out of it.
Can I ask a question?
Sort of. So it's sort of like a two-way gateway, but matter has to pass through it for matter to come out of it. Sure.
All right. There is a huge delay. I wanted to mention that. I'm still like listening and getting as much as I can. I just wanted to say that this is a lot for me to take
I'm getting a lot of like
immediately.
awkward
Is there any,
silences.
like will I be also be getting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a big delay. I just wanted to mention that. Will I be getting all this information? Like now, as in like, will I be getting? Can I get this information anywhere else? Like, as in, is this written in the comics as well? Is this on a Google Doc and all that? Because like, I'm trying to jot down as much as I can. It's just, it is a lot of information. I'm trying to perceive it and condense it as well as I can. Also, I think my nose is bleeding. One moment.
Mm-hmm. The ultimate backstory with all of this is not written anywhere else at the moment. Is your internet connection just that slow? Did you want to use something that's less intensive than Skype? What is he doing? Torrenting? Report him. Let's be like, hey, my friend's torrenting. Can you like, can you ban his IP? But the majority of this is not written anywhere, but it's not as relevant to the current story. I'm just letting you know what is going on in the background so that when I start making references to it, there's not as much, what's going on? But for the most part, I'll be able to just reference it. And I'm really terrible at explaining things, and public speaking is my worst subject, so I apologize in advance because I'm probably going to sound like a train wreck delivering this speech. It's like, I've put more thought into it than actually it sounds like I have. So, Rift is basically sealed away the pulsar in their own dimension. They can't get in, but he now also can't get out. So he's more or less biding his time and trying to force his way through all of these other portals and take over the multiverse, universe, whatever. He's generally just the bad guy. And ultimately, I hope to make it so like the story will end, but he's sort of like Ganondorf from Legend of Zelda. He's never going to be destroyed, neither is the ultimate good force. There's always going to be this battle that can happen. Although, once the storyline's done, he's pretty much really going to be defeated for quite a while. I don't want to write another comic or a book or anything. So, he gets sealed away, and now there's this one of these, which is much larger than this, just floating out in space. The humans discover this, and they find out it can be harnessed for an energy source. They don't know much about the runes, but over time they find out that they can extract energy from it. And I think I just said that. But they try to crack the runes. They find out the runes, when powered with this energy that's coming out of this orb, can do certain things. So they can cast spells, they can do magic, blah, blah, blah. Humanity starts becoming a race of mages, basically. I said it again. They start doing more experiments with the energy. They also find out that as you infuse it with something, it slows down the aging process. And thus they start to construct what I have currently named as the Exodus Project. And it's more or less a Dyson sphere that's constructed around the entire planet, and a delivery mechanism to extract as much energy out of this sphere as possible and pump it into the Earth's atmosphere. And in doing so, they start slowing down the aging process, and ultimately people start becoming more or less immortal. Not invulnerable, but immortal. So they'll never die of old age, but hey, if a truck falls on them, they're dead. They start trying to find ways around this as well. And they find if you supercharge a beam of this stuff and shoot someone with it, their body starts changing, and they start becoming more ethereal than physical. So one of these accidents, an accident of this magnitude happens when in the infusing chamber of sorts, a Zephyr Archimedes, who is a human at the time, has a pet fox, and they're in the infusing chamber, which is basically a wall of this material. Not really as relevant, but they figure out a way to extract the material out of this orb. And produce it. So the material can only be produced and shaped, melded, whatever, at the orb location. And that's where it starts getting dubbed as a forge. And they are able to reproduce these, and they start making more of them, although on a much smaller scale. This is one of the smaller ones. The actual one, which is in the Exodus, which I'll show you in just a moment, is, let's see, how big would that be? It's not Death Star sized. It's not a moon. It's not going to crush us. It's not as big as New York. Let's say a giant sphere that could fit in a park. But I should get out the picture of. Holding point. Tomorrow, I might not be around. I pretty much cleared today so that I could go to the condo tomorrow. I'll probably not be around tomorrow. Well, what do you think? This is coming from the creator of Project Ares. You think this is? I've been working on this story for 10 years. You think it's gonna be small? Well, it's nothing really impressive yet, but I'll at least show you the Exodus project. Where we go. The Exodus. Here we go. This is the Exodus, and this is the United States. Basically holds the entire planet. The forge is in the back somewhere. And it also holds the ship bays, the bridge, and just for the heck of it, 2 massive mass accelerators. Because I kept thinking of Mass Effect, and it's like, when you pull the trigger on this, you are ruining someone's day, somewhere and sometime. But let me see, places we can stop. What was I at? If you just want to jot down the birth of the Ryioners, that's Ryionar, and I'll know exactly where to start picking up.